Welcome back to the channel. We're here with another lefty-righty six-shot ball review. This one will be of the new Pearl symmetric from Storm, the Road Warrior. This one features the R2S Deep Pearl cover stock with the inverted FE2 core with the AI outer. That is basically AI treatment on top of the original HyRoad core. We're once again on the 44-foot Billy Hardwick pattern, a little more length and volume to allow us to test some of the stronger balls out in this particular series. So we're going to start on the right side with yours truly. This is the Road. First shot is in the track area. Not terribly surprising for a higher response ball, but kind of duck hooks since it's relatively fresh right now. The Road, of course, is the hybrid version of the Road Warrior. This is the remake of the HyRoad with the AI treatment on it and the REX hybrid cover stock. It's featured in a lot of things. So this one will be a little bit earlier and maybe a little bit more forward than the Road Warrior. So for shot two, give it the old 3 and 2 kind of treatment and floats to the pocket pretty well. Ball speed is still a little bit low as I'm coming back from my recent partial knee replacement. But the advantage of having something like the Road is that it will float to the spot but not be too clean. So once again, give it the old 3 and 2 treatment. It kind of got stuck a little bit, cut it off a little bit. You can see me kind of test the approach there. And this time the flatter part of the pattern does not allow the Road to get to the spot. And I find myself with the old 610. So I step in a little further, try to get a little firmer at the bottom, and now we're kind of talking, but the Road being fairly forward but still pretty clean on a heavier pattern doesn't quite get the corner pin out. So a step even further left, and now we're in kind of a swisher zone. The Road is kind of a lower diff core, even with the AI treatment, raising up the numbers a little bit. And on this fresher, longer, heavier 44-foot pattern, it's just not quite enough ball for that zone. It's a little earlier and forward. So as I go further left, it's not quite getting started. I'll go 3 and 2 further left and to prove my point. There it is again. Still in the swisher zone. As long as I keep it close to the pocket, I can kind of get the swisher there, but anything right of that will probably 210. Anything a little bit left of that higher in the pocket will probably leave a corner. And now I switch on over to the Road Warrior. Same core, main difference is big change in the cover from the REX Hybrid in the Road to the R2S Deep Pearl in the Road Warrior. Much cleaner cover. Starting the track, and you can kind of see immediately the difference. Seems to go like 2-3 feet longer, much sharper back end motion out of the Road Warrior. Similar lead to the first shot, but very different way of getting there. So I jump 3 and 2 again, and similar kind of story. Looks like it's gonna be pretty good, and then just a little too clean, a little too fast responsive down lane, and there's a 3-6-10. So I jump another 3 and 2, and lo and behold, once again, pretty quick down lane. What I've noticed out of this Road Warrior is that it is a little stronger in the mid lane than the specs would lead you to believe. I've used it a couple of times since recording this, and I found that it's a little more usable than you'd think. It's not just a straight HyRoad Pearl replacement like a lot of folks were thinking. And you can kind of see it here. It is still getting going in the mid lane more than you'd think. And so with that in mind, I chase it a little further left, kind of get into it a little bit more, and now we're talking. Much stronger move down lane than the Road. Again, that's to be expected. You're talking about a clean Pearl versus a nano hybrid. Very different covers, even though the cores are the same. So I chase it another 3 and 2, get into it a little bit more, and the big difference I'm seeing between the Road Warrior and the Road is that the Road is more forward, it's a little slower down lane. Again, you'd expect that. The Road Warrior, for as clean as it's supposed to be, still gets started enough in the mid lane, and so you see that much more defined motion down lane, and this one is going flush, whereas the Road was struggling to get me the light swisher in the same zone. And then for fun, I chase it even further left. Now I'm in the serious wheel zone, and same thing again. The road was really lazier down lane. The Road Warrior very much not. Much more defined move down lane. And again, that's 10 back versus that little swisher you were seeing earlier. So now we're going to switch over to the left side of the lane. Jean Perez, Storm Regional staffer, very competitive tournament bowler, has made money all over the nation. We're going to start off with his comparison to Lightning Blackout. For Jean's first shot, he's in a track area. Lightning Blackout, much higher RG, lower diff than the Road Warrior. And you can kind of see his first shot. Lightning very clean. Gets that messenger down lane for the really fast response in the back end. So Jean's going to cheat that like 2-in-1 right. And once again, clean up front means fast down lane, and he crosses over in this one. So for this one, he kind of chases this one 2-0 right, gets a little further left, and now we're in the zone. You can see he's closer to the head pin than the first shot, so the back end doesn't look quite as pronounced, but that is a 44-foot pattern. That's what you'd expect. Jean being a higher rev player, even on the left side, he can step in further and just overpower things, and he does so here, stepping in just a little bit further and getting a little more recovery from a little wide. That's the advantage of having the rev rate. And now Jean's going to switch up to the Road Warrior. This should be overall much earlier core, maybe a slightly cleaner cover. R2S Deep Pearl is weaker than REX Pearl on the Lightning Blackout, but the core is much stronger. That said, we'll take a look here at his first shot, which is in a similar zone to where he finished with the Lightning Blackout. And yeah, pretty much what you'd expect. That core gets started a lot sooner, look like a similar trajectory as the Lightning Blackout, but the sooner core just goes sideways down lane and can't quite get to the spot. So Jean does one of the things he can do best, which is get into it a little bit more, get up the back a little bit better, and now you can see where this ball can be really special. Still clean, but by getting up the back of it and getting a little firmer, he's able to control the mid lane despite that really clean cover. So he chases this one further right and goes actually almost 8-10s high flush. For as clean as this cover is supposed to be, like I said earlier, this thing really does get started in the mid lane. You can see it really on that shot there. He's inside the oil line, and he still finds a way to get that thing to really truck through the mid lane. So goes even further right into no man's land for most lefties. No problem, though, as he's able to just overpower that mid lane again. And this is one I think he's going to make a lot of money with. And now, just for a little comparison, Jean's going to jump further outside and try to just get into it. And as you can see here, for as clean as that cover is supposed to be, it still gets going early once it sees some of the friction outside from the lane surface. And just absolutely boomtown down lane. This is one that, for as clean as it's supposed to be, it will still need a little bit of oil. It is still a stronger, cleaner piece. It definitely reads like HyRoad Pearl on steroids. And then just to prove the point, it goes like 2-in-1 right and tries to really get into this one. And now it's a little bit lazier in the mid lane. And you see the light 9-pin off his hand. But I thought he threw that one pretty well. The core just got started and it was just a little bit too clean. Alright, so that'll do it for our review of the Road Warrior. And for a ball that's supposed to be a HyRoad Pearl replacement, I think that's exactly what it's reading like. Definitely clean up front, but not as squeaky clean as you might have thought. If you've heard of the R2S Deep Pearl cover, it's because the R2S Deep was used on the Absolute and Absolute Power, and you can see some of the similarities. But this core with the AI treatment is really getting started a lot sooner than the HyRoad Pearl did. So if you're looking for something as they transition a little bit, house shot killer kind of ball, later block ball that's going to give you that back end, I think you got to consider the Road Warrior. It's certainly something looking pretty good in my bag. If you like this video, make sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, share this video with your friends, spread the word about disc golfing bowlers. We'll be back with more reviews, If you have any questions on this or any of the SPI releases, leave a comment down below. We'll make sure to get back to you. And we'll be coming back soon with a review of the surprise December release, returning to a very popular line, the Physics Blackout. Can't wait to throw that and let you know what we think. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.